today I'm putting Neymar Jr. in the Barcelona Academy. Because while Neymar became a Barcelona legend, let's be honest, we expected way more. Only one Champions League and no Ballon d'Ors? That's not good enough for him. And no, Neymar has been reset and he looks terrible now. But don't you worry, we're going to rebuild Neymar from scratch. Help Barcelona win another treble and finally win him that Ballon d'Or, making him the world's best player. But of course, Neymar is still in the youth academy and has to go ahead and earn his pro contract at Barca. And if he wants to earn that pro contract, he needs to win this youth tournament final against Espanyol. And if he doesn't win this game, he will be released from FC Barcelona and may never become a Barca legend again. And as the youth tournament began, Neymar started off quick by getting the first goal and luckily scored a second to end the game 2-0. And yes, Neymar has done it. 2 goals has won them the youth tournament. And yes, that does mean he is joining FC Barcelona, his first ever pro contract. I know one day he'll be lifting that treble with Barca, but more importantly, the Ballon d'Or that he never won. And Neymar has arrived in Barcelona and has gone up a +1 already to 67 overall. However, there is a clear problem. He has so much competition in Rafinha and Rashford. He will not be getting any game time this season. So of course, Neymar's gonna have to go ahead and go out on loan. And hopefully by the time he comes back, he can become a starter at Barca. Or he might have to explore other options and come back to Barcelona a long time from now. And Neymar has found a club to go out on loan for the next 2 seasons. And he is joining Palermo in Italy in the Serie B. Surely if he can go ahead and succeed here, he can go back to Barcelona and go ahead and help him win the treble and become the world's best player and win him his Ballon d'Or. And boys, there is great news as Neymar will be the starting winger in this Palermo side, which means his overall is gonna skyrocket in the next 2 seasons. However, if Neymar ever wants to become a Barcelona legend, he has to go ahead and beat rivals along the way. And well, it turns out another Serie B team have made a huge loan signing, and that is Greek striker Costulas from Brighton. And if Neymar wants to get to the next stage of his career, he has to go ahead and outscore Costulas in a single season. And of course, that won't be easy as Costulas is a striker and he has 68 shooting, while Neymar Jr. is stuck at 54 shooting, man. That is not gonna be good. So we're gonna go ahead and give him the development plan of inside forward to try and get that shooting up. And it's a great first season for Neymar. 11 goals and 3 assists. He also went up a +5 to a 72 overall. The question is, did he outscore Costulas? But before that, Palermo have promoted to the Serie A. Neymar has already achieved something in his career. However, Venezia and Costulas will be following along as they won the playoffs. But when it comes to who scored more goals, it is Costulas as he scored 15 and 35, while Neymar sits only 4 goals away from Costulas. So that means in the Serie A, he will have to outscore if he wants to win this rivalry. And to kick off season number 2, it seems like Palermo have brought in another Barca winger, and that is Rudy Bargi on a season-long loan as they try to survive relegation. And this is what the team looks like alongside Neymar as he's grown to a 73 overall. But of course, now that him and Costulas are in the Serie A, he has to outscore him in a harder league now. And when it comes to FC Barcelona, they did not win the Champions League as their rivals have. So maybe Real Madrid are dominating La Liga and they need Neymar to step up in the next couple years. And when it comes to Neymar stats, his shooting is looking absolutely incredible. But because his highest stat is acceleration, he has gained his first play style in rapid. And this is very important because when we get to the UCL final with Barca, we will play that game and Neymar needs as many play styles as possible. But of course, he still needs to outscore Costulas, so I still think we need to work on his shooting despite having 5-star weak foot. And we're gonna go ahead and go for the inside forward role once again. And at the end of the season, it's a great finish for Neymar and Palermo as they finished in 10th place. Where the Costulas and Venezia finished and they just survived relegation. I'm liking Neymar's chances. Another great season, a +4 for Neymar, now at a 76 overall. And his next best stat is his agility, so he has gained technical silver. But he was actually the club's top goal scorer with 13 goals and 3 assists. Did he outscore Costulas though? And when it comes to the top 5, neither Costulas or Neymar achieved it. How far do we have to go down to see the first player? And it's going to be Neymar. He gets 13 goals. How many did Costulas get? And yes, boys, Costulas was only able to get 4 in the Serie A despite playing 33 games. Neymar beats his first rival and he's going to the next step of his career. I wonder which rival is up next. And in season number 3, Neymar is returning to FC Barcelona. I wonder if he'll be part of the squad. And now back at FC Barcelona, he's actually gone up a +2 now to a 78. But unfortunately, he has 3 different competitors in Antonio Nusa, Ansu Fati, and Rafinha. And I'm gonna be honest, if Neymar ever wants to win a treble with Barca and a Ballon d'Or, he needs to be skyrocketing overall. And being the 4th choice option is not good enough. So I think instead of going out on loan for another 2 seasons, let's go ahead and transfer list him and let him go to other clubs and eventually work his way back to Barcelona. And straight away, Neymar receives his first offer and it is from Bournemouth in the Premier League. That isn't too bad. And yet again, he's received a second Premier League offer and this time it is from Brentford. Going to the Premier League would be great, but I prefer going to a club that's in Europe, regardless if it's the Champions League or the the Europa League. But the good news is Neymar received a third offer as he is joining FC Porto. And now that he arrives here at Portugal, I know his next challenge is to go ahead and win the league title. But the question is, who is going to be his rival? If he has 1 or 2. But I know this is the right move to eventually get him back to Barca to win the treble and the Ballon d'Or. Make sure to subscribe and comment down below who you want to see next in which academy. And Neymar has now arrived at FC Porto, but it sucks because he's on the bench, as Borja Sáenz is currently a better player than him and Neymar has to overtake him. However, Neymar still needs to win the league title, and his first rival is Francisco Trincao. He is Sporting's best player and they're going to be contenders for the league title. And his rival from the Benfica side is actually Joao Felix, who has returned to Benfica. But first of all, he needs to go ahead and dislodge Borja Sáenz from the starting 11. And in order to do that, it's very simple. It's to grow his overall from a 78 to higher. And currently taking a look at his stats, we're going to pause on his shooting for now, and we're going to work on his passing and his dribbling. So we're going to go ahead and give him the wide playmaker role for the rest of the season. And that's another good season for Neymar, as he has grown to an 81 overall, a +3. And as he is now an 80 plus overall, he has gained his next playstyle in Tiki-Taka Silver, because his short passing is his next best stat. And speaking of stats, Neymar had a brilliant season here, 16 goals and 2 assists. He still had less games than Sáenz, but really did outscore him. When it does come to the league title, it was won by Felix and Benfica, as Sporting also finished in second, as Ataca de Portugal is gonna go to Benfica. But Neymar was also in the Europa League, where he was knocked out by Leverkusen. Just not a good season as a team. And let's just say his rivals did outperform him. Trincao had 18 goals, Felix had 14, but Neymar in only 23 appearances had 13. Surely if he was a starter over Borja Sáenz, he would have beaten his rivals here. But let's go ahead and go to season number 4, as he's on his route to winning the treble with Barca one day, and his first Ballon d'Or. And now in season number 4, Porto have strengthened. Now they brought in Ordóñez, the 81 rated center back. However, there's still bad news, as Neymar is still sitting on the bench because he hasn't surpassed Sáenz in overall. This year, we're gonna go ahead and work on his pace. Neymar at 78 pace is not quick enough. So we're gonna go ahead and give him the winger role in hopes that next season he could be a starter. And we are now in the final day of the season, as Porto sit 1 point behind Sporting de Portugal. And that is the team Neymar will be facing on the final day. So if they win this, he will successfully beat his rivals to the league title. And there is good news, as he is finally in the starting 11. I'm sure he's passed Sáenz and overall. But the question is, can he win this game to finally win the league title? And it's a 3-2 loss. Even though Neymar scores on the final day, Sporting still lift the title. However, it's not all bad, as they're in the Taça de Portugal final against Benfica. He may have not won the league title, but can he win his first ever trophy here at FC Porto? And yes, he has, as he fails to score in the final day, but regardless, he gets his first trophy. And it's a +4 for Neymar this season, now at an 85. And he has gained his next playstyle, which is Incisive Silver, since his vision is so high. But he has also gained Trickster and Game Changer due to his 5-star skill moves. And when it comes to his stats, it's his best ever season, 18 goals and 12 assists, double digits on both accounts. And he finally did outperform his rivals with 14 goals. However, he still has to win the league title next season with FC Porto. And to kick off season number 5, FC Porto have brought in Ferran Torres on a 1-year loan to try and secure the league title. And boys, how has this side now won the league title as of yet? Neymar needs to hurry up and beat his rivals, but thankfully this is his first time as a starter. But so far, at just 20 years old, Neymar is looking absolutely incredible, with his shooting currently being his weak link. So let's go ahead and give him the inside forward once again. Hopes that he beats his rivals this season and can impress a huge club and maybe Barca at the start of next season. And it's another great season for Neymar, 18 goals and 11 assists. However, only went up a +1 to an 86. And when it comes to top goal scorers, neither of the 3 are in the top 5. But if you scroll down, once again, Neymar has beaten his rivals. But did he finally beat them to the league title? Well, he did win back-to-back Taça de Portugals. And yes, he has finally done it by 1 point, won his first league title, beating his next rivals. Which now does mean it's time to move to a top 5 league, maybe Barcelona. Getting so much closer to that treble with Barcelona and his first ever Ballon d'Or. And to begin season number 6, it's time for Neymar to move on. Let's transfer list him and listen to some offers. The first offer that's come in is actually in the Premier League, and it is from Aston Villa. It's not the worst offer in the world. And a second offer has come in, and it is from Red Bull Leipzig. This is a better offer than Villa, but I think going to the Prem might be better. But unfortunately, there was one more offer, and it wasn't from Barcelona. And Neymar has accepted this offer, as he is joining Newcastle United in the Premier League. I think Newcastle might just be a little bit better than Aston Villa, but as he now joins Tyne's side, his next objective is to win his first golden boot. We need to find out who his rivals are. And Neymar has now arrived at Newcastle, and I can't lie, this team is actually not terrible at all. He can easily win the golden boot here and maybe a Premier League. But what matters most is that Alexander Isak from Liverpool, former Newcastle player, won the golden boot. So as of this season, that is his current rival. But next year we might get somebody else, and his rival treble will change. And now taking a look at Neymar's stats, his shooting is somehow still his worst stat, as defending and physical don't matter for a winger. So I feel for like the fourth time we're gonna go for the inside forward role. And the brilliant news is that Neymar is an incredible penalty taker, so his numbers might go up here. And at the end of the season, third place is not a bad finish for Neymar and Newcastle United. However, when it comes to his growth this season, he only went up a +1. And well, it wasn't a super season, but 14 goals and 7 assists is still pretty good. I don't think he won the Golden Boot though. No, the Golden Boot was rewarded to Joao Pedro, but if you scroll down, Bradley Barcola outscored Neymar. So his new rival is now Joao Pedro, but also Barcola, who's in his own team. And boys, he must win this Golden Boot if he ever wants to impress Barcelona and eventually win the treble with them and a Ballon d'Or. And I think I found a way for Neymar to win the Golden Boot. He has now become the free kick taker here for Newcastle. However, he's to work on his curve and his shot power. And well, boys, there's a huge problem. The winger role only gives the curve, while the inside forward is the only one that gives shot power. So we have to choose between the two stats. And I think because his shot power is already at a 72, we're gonna go for the winger role to upgrade on his curve. And it's Neymar's best ever season, 32 goals and 10 assists. And he even went up to an 89 overall. So close to getting to that 90. And yes, Neymar has finally won his Golden Boot, beating out the likes of Haaland, Duran, and his teammate Bonnie. That means he beats his next set of rivals. Not only that, but Neymar has won the Premier League title with Newcastle. He has overachieved at this club, but he did miss out on the Community Shield. He also missed out on the FA Cup, but he did win the Carabao Cup. 2 trophies at Newcastle is very impressive. And we are now in season number 8. Neymar is 23 years old at an 89 overall. He's completed everything here in England. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer list him and hope FC Barcelona come in for him. And yes, it has happened. Barcelona have come in for Neymar and he is rejoining the side. However, winning the treble won't be easy, as first he needs to go ahead and win La Liga over Real Madrid. But it's good for Neymar to be back where he started. His chance to win them the treble, his first Ballon d'Or to become a Barcelona legend. And Neymar has returned back to Barcelona, where he will be the starting left winger, as they do have an incredible side like Rooney Bargi, who was with him at Palermo, superstar captain Pedri, and of course Lamine Yamal, who's playing at number 10. However, of course, we still need to beat Real Madrid to La Liga title first, but something I want to find out here at Barcelona is the new MSN. In order to be a part of the brand new MSN, you have to score 30 goals in a single season. If not, you just won't be used in the UCL final. So let's hope that Moise Kean and Rooney Bargi can join the list alongside Neymar. And when it comes to his rival to the league title, it is going to be Estevao, a fellow Brazilian. Can he beat Estevao to La Liga? But of course, the first thing Neymar must do is not only win the league title, but score 30 goals to secure a spot in the MSN. So of course, we're gonna go back and give him the inside forward for like the 100th time, man. And what a great first season for Neymar. 33 goals and 13 assists, which means obviously he secured a spot into the new MSN. And not only that, he's reached a 91 overall, and because his best stat is his agility, he has now gained technical plus with dead ball silver and low driven, replacing his former playstyle. And just as an added bonus, Neymar wins his first La Liga Golden Boot, beating Estevao. But when it comes to the La Liga title, he was beaten by Real Madrid by 1 point. It cannot get any closer. And he also fails to win the Copa de España, but he did win the Copa del Rey, as the Champions League is between Roma and Real Madrid. Yeah, it's gonna be tough to beat them to that La Liga title. But let's go into season number 9 and hope he's getting closer to that treble and the Ballon d'Or. And to kick off season number 9, it seems like Barcelona have finally brought in Julian Alvarez, who at 33 years old is at an 88 overall. He'll be the second lock for that new MSN. And this is what the brand new starting 11 is looking like, as Julian will be competing with Fabio Silva to be in that striker spot for the MSN, while Rooney Bargi still has time, but who knows, next year Barca may bring in somebody to compete with him. And in terms of development plans for Neymar, he's already at a 91, but if he wants to win the Ballon d'Or, he needs to be as high as possible. So we're gonna go ahead and give him the wide playmaker role just for now. Let's see if this is the year he beats Estevao and wins the La Liga title. And yes, Neymar has done it. He has finally won La Liga, beating his rival Estevao. And when it comes to the Super Copa de España, they beat Real Madrid, and they also beat Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey, which means the chance for the treble is here. But no, they did not reach the final of the Champions League, as Neymar's 2 ex-clubs reached the final. And Neymar had another great season, 28 goals, 13 assists, but guess what? Julian got 32 and 10, which means he is now the striker in the brand new MSN, and now we're missing the right wing. However, Rooney Bargi is now up to task, 11 goals and 3 assists. Let's see if Barcelona sign a brand new right winger. As we're going into that brand new season, Neymar has one thing left to do, and that is to win the treble and the Ballon d'Or, as his next rivals is actually Lamine Yamal, Julian Alvarez, and whoever is going to be the final MSN member to beat him to the Ballon d'Or. And now in the brand new season, it seems like Rooney Bargi has not been replaced. Hopefully he can get his 30 goals so he can start in the UCL final, hopefully this season. And at just 25 years old, Neymar is at 92 in his absolute prime. This could be the final season, so we're just gonna go ahead and master his pace by going for the winger role. But the question is, can he win the treble this year? And it's Neymar's best ever season, 36 goals and 6 assists. But Rooney Bargi has made it 33 goals and 7. And she's the final piece of the brand new MSN. Now Neymar's at 93 overall, surely one of the favorites for the Ballon d'Or. However, as you can see, his 3 rivals all had incredible seasons. I'm not sure if he's gonna win it. But when it comes to the league title, they did go ahead and win it. They also won the Supercopa de España. And yes, they have won the Copa del Rey. The treble is on. But in terms of the Champions League, they finished in first place. All wins in the groups. And in the round of 16, they smashed Real Madrid. In the quarterfinals, they smashed Arsenal. And in the semis, they beat Liverpool and will be facing Dortmund in the UCL final. Surely, if Neymar could go ahead and win this game, he can potentially win the Ballon d'Or. But more importantly, he will secure the treble and become a Barca legend. Julian Alvarez looking for that through ball, finds Neymar Jr., who's on the run now, has that technical plus that we talked about with the finesse, and it goes in. They left him wide open, 1-0 to Barcelona. Gives it into Julian Alvarez looking for that through ball, does find Neymar Jr., it's brilliant, lays it off all the way into Lamine Yamal, 1v1 with the finesse, and it goes in. Barcelona make it 2-0. Get to go ahead and make it 3-0, lays it off into Rooney Bargi, 1v1 with the finish, and it goes in. And Rooney makes it 3, man. And this game is over. Barcelona lift the Champions League, completing the treble. But of course, now the question is, who's gonna win the Ballon d'Or, as everybody in the front four got a goal contribution in this game. And yes, Neymar has done it, finally winning the Ballon d'Or, finally becoming king and becoming a Barca legend. If you guys enjoyed this video, click on the screen and watch me take over the worst team in England.